Um, Here this morning with Daryn West, outside mission team site director at One Life East. And similar, maybe you saw the one with Walt, Garrison, and Henderson. We're just wanting to have some conversations with the site directors about their own mission teams and about their campus, and just share some things that they're going through as leaders in that hopefully will be helpful for you. So I'm just going to ask them a few questions, jump right in here. Last fall, your team, your life group then, mission team, went through the shift exercise and came down on a mission statement. And you, as we were talking through and just sharing that journey, you said that it maybe felt forced a little bit, and maybe if you settled on something that you weren't that wasn't definitely what you felt like you should be doing, and that led you to not exactly carrying through on it. So just wanted to share with everyone, because I'm sure some other leaders had the exact same experience. What did you learn from that? What are you continuing to learn from that overall experience?
Okay. One thing I learned is that a lot of the life groups and the mission teams now were meeting have been formed on the basis of friendships or relationships. Some of them have been formed on what was a convenient time. They can meet Friday night, or even if children were allowed. And so when we went through this process to kind of move to the group shift process, to move off the couch into the community, we did that. Part of the exercise was discovering what makes you passionate, and we call it "You're made for this." And what we found is, in the group there were a lot of different made for this. Mm-hmm. And so to kind of come down on a common one, and I think this was common in a lot of groups, we all kind of came off of what our actual made for this was, or things we were passionate, to kind of maybe compromise a little bit and find one we could all land on. And it turned out to be something that was kind of diluted, or maybe none of us were that passionate about. And so it didn't have the same effect as the things that we were really passionate about, or felt like that was our made for this. And so, but I think in the good news is, and as we move along now that groups or mission teams have discovered, maybe we need to tweak this, or maybe some people in the group or the mission team have found out, hey, this is really something that is attractive to me or gets me fired up and I didn't realize it, or things like that. As people are invited to join, and we've discovered our mission team is about this. We're helping people far from God experience Jesus by blank. Then as other people come along, then they're going to be excited about that, and it's not just about when's a convenient time to meet, or if kids can come, or things like that. So.
Yeah. So the real tension has been between the mission and being excited about wanting to do something that you're very excited about, but then not abandoning or disconnecting from this community of people that you've built and started as in the more traditional small group.
Right.
So where are you at now in that process? Just whatever, good, bad, ugly. Where are you at?
Yeah. Well, it's been a challenge as this fall is happening, and to start getting back together, and we've asked people, mission team leaders, to revisit their mission statements and either adjust them, or some of them have actually stopped meeting, or some have come up with a new one and kind of started all over and gone through that whole process again. So, but with us personally, it's been a challenge, because and I'm sure this is the case with most teams at One Life, but between the kids' activities and the school schedules and the sports games, and we used to meet on Friday nights, that doesn't work anymore. So it's been tough to find a consistent time. So we've done things like try to stay connected on Facebook and schedule impromptu events, and we're going through these the videos and the process that we're all the alpha group videos. But as far as staying on point with the mission team, it's been kind of a tough challenge right now. So.
And so one of the things that we want across the network to do is launch more and more mission teams. And to do that, we want leaders and people in mission teams to rise up as God calls them to something specifically in their life. You're at the very beginning of something. It may not even end up moving forward or coming to fruition, but I thought it was such an exciting, neat idea. I wanted you to share the idea with people to hopefully spark some similar, just kind of unique expressions of calling and gifting and how mission teams might form. And so just first share the idea, okay, and then we'll talk about maybe steps you can take to making that a reality. So,
right. Okay, as we were going through the group shift exercise, and this wasn't a real surprise to my wife, Brooke, and me, but one of the things that kind of bubbled up in us was our desire to help adoptive parents and foster parents, because we're adoptive parents ourselves, and we've been foster parents in the past, and we just see the need there. And there's a foster parent community in Evansville. Some are just grandparents caring for they're already caring for their children, their grandchildren, and so they're going through the foster parent program. And then there are other people that are fostering for adoption, and there are other people that are just fostering. But there's a whole community, and with that comes a lot of need. There's like, if you're a foster parent, there's only certain people that you can leave your kids with. They have to be licensed, or you can leave them with a church or an organization like that. And there are other things that, we just have a heart to help those kids and those families that want to help. Yeah.
So just one like practical example you shared with me is like the date night. I love that idea. Can you just real quick share?
Yeah, we thought one way to serve them, since it is such a challenge for foster parents to get a break, really. They can't just drop their kids off with their parents, their grandparents, or anything like that. Is maybe provide a date night for them on a Friday night where we just open up One Life and say, hey, we come drop your foster kids off here, your kids, and go out on a date and come back, a couple hours from now, and just give them a chance. We'll just serve them, no strings attached, no cost, and then anybody at One Life or part of our mission team that would want to join in serving them, that'd be a way to do it. So.
Yeah, I love that. So if you think about these ideas are bubbling up, hopefully throughout our entire network, as we see a Gospel City movement happen, we want our mission teams out in the community, impacting the city, seeing the whole level raise, everything from big things to small things, and I love that idea. So as ideas come up, how do you move ideas, because that's an amazing idea, to reality? What's would you say right now, you and Brooke, your wife, it's still in the idea stage and conversation stage. What would you say is the very next step for you guys to make this a reality, if God indeed is calling you to do this?
Yeah, I think part of it is just communicating our mission and some of what our vision is and ways to serve, because it's just funny. A lot of times I'll hear, as new mission teams are started, there are other people that join up because God's been laying that same purpose on their heart.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of it is just communication and letting people know.
A lot of conversations.
What the vision. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
A lot of organic type conversations and just prayer that God will bring the right people together and get 2 or 3 people that have a common vision with us to join with us and start working towards it.
Yeah, so if you have people in your outside mission team that you hear the idea bubbling up, encourage them to have as many conversations as possible, share with as many people, and really grab that, start forming a team. Okay, so thank you for sharing. I just always want to ask this, leave space for you guys as we do these interviews. What's just one last parting communication or advice, or just anything that you want to share out of your heart to all the East leaders or to all the mission team leaders across the network?
Yeah, well, I would say this: don't miss the opportunity, or don't give up. Even this process is new for us all. There's always challenges, but part of the mission of the church of One Life is to help people far from God experience Jesus. And that's not just a one life thing, that's a Christ follower mission. Yeah. And so it's just interesting to me because, you know, God obviously doesn't need us. He could accomplish anything he wants on his own, but for some reason he has chosen to involve us in this process. And I'm just convinced that it's as much for what happens to us as we learn to empathize with people. We you know, hurt when they hurt. We laugh when they laugh, and we learn to really pray for people. And so by joining in that process, I mean, we're changed and we're becoming more like Christ. And so that's what my encouragement would be. Just get in the game and don't give up and don't miss opportunity.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Thank you, Daryn.
Yeah, thank you.